came all the way from Jersey to be here.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I couldn't miss it.
Yeah, hey, I raise your hands. How many of you drove an hour to be here? I love you. Thank you guys so much. How many of you drove 2 hours or more to be here? Yeah, Chris. You drove from Jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge shout out to all of you. It was really a last minute event put together. I'm sure you were scrambling when you figured out I was coming out here to Orlando. And so it's gonna be awesome. You guys ready to see this G-Wagon?
Yeah.
You guys, okay, so I got a question for you guys before you guys ask me questions. Do you guys think it's gonna work?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, sounds good, Orlando. So we're gonna begin with the Q&A. Raise your hand, the mic will go around, and we'll get started.
How you doing, Julian? So my name is Nelson. I'm a DJ out here in Orlando, Florida area. I've been following you actually for a really long time now. I've been actually following you since you probably had maybe 2,000, 3,000 followers. So I've been following you for a couple of years now. I think probably your first viral post is probably what caught me onto you, and I've been following you since. So I just want to say congratulations on your success and how far you've been getting so far. So just want to put that out there before I ask my question. I actually got a question in the comments. So first question is what is your plans for mass production and as far as having to get this particular type of invention out to the public so that way, everybody can benefit from something like this? Like, what are your plans as far as that? Have you thought that far, or are you just trying to just get the word out there and just still building?
Yeah, so to me, I do these demonstrations, I show the application and that it works, but the whole point is to actually get machines out in the world and solve the plastic problem. So my mission is, so I built 5 prototypes. The latest one that we won't see online now is Mark 4.5. Basically, it's the last prototype because after this machine, I've gathered all the data and all of the skills I need to know to implement the first machine. So my goal is next year, hopefully around next summer, I want to take the steps towards implementing the first machine. I want to start on islands right off the coast of Miami. I want to start in either the Dominican Republic, Haiti, possibly Puerto Rico. So because I want to start at places that really need it the most, because then it'll be implemented the fastest, right? If I start in a place that doesn't necessarily need it, like a lot of states in the U.S., we just ship our plastic off, right? We don't care about it. We ship it off to places like the Dominican Republic, West Coast of Ghana and stuff. And so to me, I want to get it where it's needed, work directly with the government, and then once I get it, the first little spot started, you just ping pong, island after island, country after country. And then before you know it, we're slowly chipping away at plastic at the source, the root of the problem. So that's my goal. Thank you.
I got one more comment.
We gotta go to
Just a comment, just real quick. So just real quick. Now I'm not trying to make this like a race thing or anything like that, but I'm really big on Black business, Black ownership, Black innovation. So one thing I will ask of you is that one thing when a big company or a big corporation or a big invention gets created by Black individuals, they choose to sell once it becomes extremely profitable. So my ask of you is that once the company does become profitable, don't sell out, keep the company, keep it in your lineage, keep it going. And that's my only ask of you, you know what I mean? So
for sure, yeah, and I have no intention to sell out everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I've been doing it 5 years by myself. Up to this point, I've already had tons of offers. I still own 100% of my company, and like I said, that's why I thank all of you, because you guys make it possible for me to be able to do it myself. So thank you guys. Thanks.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Britton. I live here local at UCF, and I got a question for you. I've been following you since you had the first explosion with the reactor. It was from then I started sharing your posts, interacted with you a little bit in the comments. It's been amazing. And I want to know, next time you're back in Orlando, how do I submit some vehicles for use? Because I got some old school, like classic cars, diesel vehicles, some a little bit older, and some other things. How would you be able to do that?
I think when I do trips and stuff, it's so spontaneous. Like, I didn't know I was going to do this trip here today, for example. I think the best thing is just to keep up with my page. And when I ever make the announcement, because I will be doing a little Florida tour again at some point, just DM, email. When you want to get a hold of me, you got to do everything. DM, email, multiple pages, whatever. and I'll see it. And then when I see it, because when I put out a word asking for something, I'm checking all the time to see what we got. So I think that's the best way for anybody that has any vehicle or anything. There's gotta be you have to do it at the right time when I'm actually like looking.
Yeah.
And be persistent. Like many different avenues, many different email addresses.
Okay.
I see it over and over again. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It's probably legit.
I sent you one today.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, so great question. Next.
My question is, what inspires you to make plastic?
Great question. Great questions. Very deep question, right? So, what inspired me was I remember I was in the 10th grade and I was in this environmental science class. They showed us a video of the ocean and how bad it was, right? And this is before even microplastics were known as bad as they are, but they just talked about how it was affecting all the animals, just everything. And I'm like, well, I'm glad I'm not contributing to that because I'm telling my parents to pay for recycling. And so, I'm not, my plastic isn't ending in the ocean, right? But guess what? At the end of the documentary, they said, oh yeah, by the way, if you throw your plastic in the recycle bin, less than 5% gets recycled. And that was it. Like the documentary ended. It wasn't like okay, but here's what you can do to actually recycle, or here's the hope. No, it was just that. It was just doom and gloom at the end, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's horrible. And so it kind of got my mind spinning at like, okay, why do we have this horrible problem that's not being solved? So then come my senior year of high school, I was in welding class, and then I went to this injury I had to recover from it, and when I was recovering from this injury, because I got stabbed in the thumb, so my right thumb could not move. This thumb here, you might see the scar. I couldn't move my thumb, and so I had like 6 months where I was disabled, and I had time to do some college research. So my mind went right back to where I was before, thinking like, okay, how can we solve this problem? Because when you do research about recycling, here's the thing: recycling is a $1 billion industry, and yet nowadays less than 1% of plastic gets recycled. So how are they getting paid 99% of the money? We're doing 1% of the work, right? There's something not right about it. There's something corrupt. They're lying, right? I figured out if you put your plastic in the recycle bin, if it doesn't get thrown in the landfill, it ends up getting shipped to a developing nation. They used to ship it to China. China said, stop giving us your U.S. plastic. Now they're sending it to like Indonesia, islands in the Caribbean. It's just ending up everywhere. These countries can't handle it. They either burn it or put it in rivers. So I did all this research, and it made me more and more upset. So that's kind of the inspiration. I had this anger because I'm like, what in the world can we do, and why isn't anything being done? Right? Okay, hey, the cars over here that are parked up front, you guys need to move the cars because there's a police coming. So you guys need to move those cars that are lined up. We got to figure out a different spot they need to be, but for now they can't be there. Okay, guys. So make sure you move them so nobody gets in trouble.
The hotel has a bunch more.
Yeah, the hotel has parking, so go over to the hotel for now. We'll get figured out where you guys can go. We'll clear up these spots.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll finish it off. So my inspiration was seeing the problem and not seeing any solutions being done. And I got to the point where I'm like, I don't know what the reason is behind all this, but if I don't do something, I don't think anybody will, right? And so that was my inspiration. Next.
Hello, my name is Corey. My only question is, how can I safely donate and support you?
So the best way to donate, you can go directly to naturejab.com/donate, and there's a ton of links there that are directly me and not some account trying to impersonate me. Another way you can support is through Jabaroma. That's my natural deodorant, sunscreen, bug repellent, hair gel brand. We have it at the table back there, actually. And so that's the way you can get a natural product I made, and also, of course, support the brand directly because 10% of the revenue goes directly to the machine. And then I would say another way you can support that's not financial at all is exactly what all of you are doing here. Watching the videos, sharing them, commenting, showing up when I have events. All of these things, they are contributing and adding to this movement that's being brought together. The movement of plastic not being trash for fuel. We got to get the knowledge out above all else. We need as many people in the world to know. So share it with people. Don't let it go unknown. The work that's being done. Thank you. Next.
Excuse me?
Yes.
My name is Patrick Navarro. My name is Patrick Navarro, and What is your message to the youth?
Yes, yes. So my message to the youth, and actually to everybody really, but yeah, especially the youth, is that it can definitely be difficult to understand like what maybe your calling or your purpose is, right? And sometimes you can feel lost because you don't know what you're here for or what you're here to do. And a very important part of my journey was for years before I ever built my first machine, I spent all that time building myself, right? So I didn't just, have my purpose. I didn't just know that this was my purpose or this is something I wanted to do. It kind of found me after I built myself up over years. So I think at the end of the day, the best thing you can do as a young person is do things to build yourself. So for example, I'm a black belt in karate. I started out when I was in the fourth grade. I still apply. I got my black belt in the eighth grade, and I still apply so many traits of being a martial artist to everything I do to this day. Things like perseverance, discipline, things I talk about. And these are the things that people don't necessarily see, right? They just see the finished product. But the finished product outside of you is just a reflection of the work you've done inside of you. So the best thing you can do is build yourself, be perseverant, and never give up. And
Yeah.
Yes.
Right here.
What's up? How you doing today, Adam?
good, good.
I like to say thanks to all the veterans. Happy Veterans Day today, guys.
Yeah.
To the question, someone mentioned earlier that you're going against a very large and corrupt industry. So my question would be to you: what kind of backlash have you seen already, and what backlash are you preparing for?
Yeah, so I have experienced some backlash already. So, for example, how many of you were around when I was like missing? Right?
Yeah. That's why I'm here.
Everybody, right?
Yeah.
Working.
So what happened then? What happened in that situation? It was an experience of this course of backlash. I went under a crazy cyber attack, and not like where it's just my Instagram account got hacked. I'm talking about the type of cyber attack where your entire phone was hacked, your phone cameras, your phone mics, your phone logs, text logs. Absolutely insane, sophisticated levels of attack, right? That can't be done by anything but a powerful force. Imagine getting calls and texts from numbers that are just 000 all the way across, like crazy stuff like you see in a movie, right? And so that happened. I was getting my addresses leaked and all types of crazy things. And thank you. Yeah, and so that was an example of one of those type of attacks, because so much nowadays is reliant upon cyber and the internet. And it's like, okay, somebody gets into your cyber world nowadays, they really can get into everything, right? I mean, I wish it was just physical, but let's be real. Like my machine literally operates off of a computer to turn things on and off. So it's like it's that serious. And of course, compromising my physical safety by leaking my address there, posting my driver's license to my own Instagram in front of however many million people. So that's what happened. And then a few months before that hack situation that happened in around June, that's when it started. In I believe it was April, I was out working on my site. My site's super isolated from everything. Like the nearest hospital is 40 minutes away. I never shared the address of anybody. And I was out there at 9 o'clock at night. And then a Black Hawk helicopter flew over the property, circled me, and had a spotlight shining on me 6 times. I have it on video. I posted it to the page.
Spotlight right at me. I don't know what's going on. This is the third time this helicopter's been here. Look, it has a spotlight on it. There is a helicopter with a spotlight that keeps circling around me. It's so loud though, like I can't even go to sleep. Alright, so for those of you who have not seen my stories on Instagram, 2 nights ago I was sleeping in Alabama where I work with my reactor, and there was a helicopter that flew really low and had a spotlight at 10 o'clock at night. Flew over me, shined the spotlight right into my windshield, then flew away, came back, did it again, came back, did it again, came back, and did it again. It came 5 times, and this helicopter was flying so low I could feel the blades in my body. And I was recording it and posting it to my story, right? Letting everybody know what was going on. I was ready to leave. If it had done it a sixth time, I would have been gone. Let me tell you why this gets freaky and starts to get scary now. Outside of how scary it is to have a helicopter circle you 6 times in the middle of the country, where there's almost, like, I've been there for a year, never seen a single helicopter out there. So to have a helicopter out there at night with a spotlight circle me 5 times is already freaky enough. But many of you suggested I get Flight Radar 24. I'm a gold member. I got it. I listened, okay? Because you can go back in time. You can select categories to figure out what type of plane you're looking for, right? Like if I wanted to do just helicopter, I could do all the filters. But then I can go back in time too to see. I can go directly back to the date and the time at which this happened. So right now I have it filtered for helicopters, and right now as I'm filming this, these are every single helicopter that's flying in the world right now, everywhere. This app is pretty cool. And I gotta say, if you guys are watching Flight Radar, you can sponsor me because I actually really like this. I can't show you guys my screen because you'll know my location if I do that. But here's the scary part. I went back in time. I went hours before the helicopter ever showed up and just sat there looking at the screen. And guess what, guys? No helicopter ever showed up on Flight 24. But I have it on video. There was a helicopter there. But why was that helicopter not there? I wish I could show you. I can't give away my location. And I know it's the exact time because Instagram has the time when I posted it archived. So I have the exact date, the exact time, I have the exact location. And yet Flight 24 is telling me there was no helicopter in the sky. So, and there were some other things I didn't say to you. There were some points where the whole sky was lighting up like a flash. And then I saw some stars in the sky that were moving. Oh, it's just a bloody shooting star or comet. No, these stars weren't moving like shooting stars. They were moving like up and then just disappear. So I don't know what I saw, and they were very high up. This is not a drone. This was a star that was moving and disappearing.
And so that was, an example of somebody, because you gotta have some money to have a helicopter. And guess what? That helicopter didn't show up on the radar either. So in order to not show up on the radar, either you're doing illegal business or you are a 3-letter organization, right? So either way, point is that's a powerful force that's basically saying, hey, we're watching, right? So those are my 2 experiences, and of course I experienced smaller things, people trying to falsely report me to EPA or people trying to dox me. Those type of things are typical. But I see it like this, guys. I'm still here. Oh, and I blew myself up before, so I mentioned that. Yeah, I blew myself up last year. That was my fault. But the point is this: no matter what it is, whether it's me blowing myself up, somebody hacking me, or whatever it is, I really don't care. You know why? Because I went into this knowing it was a fight, knowing it was a war, right? If you're a warrior, you're preparing for the difficulties just as much as you're preparing for the success. That's literally a part of it, right? So, information.
Yeah.
If you're not disruptive, right? If you're being disruptive, you're going to disrupt some people. And if you disrupt some people, they're going to be angry. So if people aren't angry, I'm not doing my job right.
Right.
Next question.
What's up, Jordan?
What's up? Is that another G-Wagon? Is that a third G-Wagon at this point?
Yeah.
I didn't even know another G-Wagon was for. What the heck? All right.
Listen, man, so I came over here from Jersey, and I have a little bit of a background in chemistry, so my main only real question to you, I saw your videos about like the carbon balls in your little car. What is the only byproduct, and what is your plan to do with the byproduct, and what do you think anyone's like hash at you on like, oh, it's going to be producing something that's not good for the environment? Like, what is your answer to that?
So the only byproducts from my machine are of course the fuels. I get plastic crude oil, which can be refined into plastoline, plastic jet fuel, and then I get natural gas as well. And the last byproduct I get is carbon emitters. And so you're referring to I did this experiment on my machine where I had the blades inside the machine spin the carbon until it formed these like carbon balls basically. And so you were referring to those, but that carbon product is a very interesting byproduct because that's the only physical residue. So like when I open the machine, after I put plastic inside, right? The only thing left of the plastic is carbon. It's not plastic anymore, that's it. And that carbon can be used for concrete, cement bricks, roads, tires, asphalt, diamonds. I mean, it's carbon. right? And so that's infinite use cases. I also recover any metals. So, like for example, if I were to put in a wire into the machine, right?
You gotta make some sparkling water with your carbon.
And it's carbon, yeah, CO2. But yeah, if I were to, like, for example, put in a wire, the wire coating will get turned into fuel, and then the copper will be just left behind. So I get pure copper out of the machine. This is a form of metal recovery too. So e-waste can be recovered right there. So those are the only byproducts from the machine you were talking about. What do I have to say about, people saying it's toxic and all this? So I say, here's the difference, right? Some people might even say, oh, maybe we shouldn't burn fuel, we should move towards electrification. Here's the thing. When I'm turning plastic into fuel and carbon, all of those byproducts are controlled. I can make this fuel, put it in a can, it's going to stay into that can until I use it. On top of that, I can burn it in different ways that make it cleaner. So if I burn it in a car with a catalytic converter, the emissions are clean, right? For example, if I burn it in an engine that can handle the high compression, the emissions are cleaner. You know what isn't controlled? Same for the carbon, right? Let's say the carbon has some maybe heavy metals. Okay, well I can just keep the carbon in a 55-gallon drum and slowly figure out ways how to get the heavy metals out, whatever. But here's what's not controlled: plastic waste. You know why? Because plastic waste becomes microplastics and nanoplastics from just existing, just being out there in any way. So we have plastic in the ocean or in landfills. We are affecting everybody by it just existing, and it's not controlled because these nanoplastics are really found in Antarctica somehow, right? It's crazy. So it's like, it's better to turn it into something that we can control than to leave it just out doing its thing and continue to end up just, finding microplastics in the placenta before the children are even born. I mean, it's crazy. So it's an environmental hazard, and it's far better to turn it into fuel than to leave it in the ocean. Just next.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Justin. I'm over here.
Oh, what's up?
Question was, do you have a plan on like how you want to implement your machines into like communities and like how that could like be affected by any government agencies and or like permitting and stuff like that? I don't know how far you thought into that specific.
Yeah, I was going over that earlier. And so my plan is to get the machine implemented first in a country outside of America, because I would love to get it started here, but the truth is, it's just from a regulatory perspective, they move too slow because America does not need it, right? We just ship our waste off. So they're going to be really slow dragging their feet, and of course, we already know, there's a lot of political things with oil here, so it's like, I go to a country that needs it, the government's going to work directly with me instead of working against me and just being really slow, because it might take 10 years to get the regulations approved. We don't have 10 years. I need to be, okay, I'm showing it's working in all these other countries and nations, where America's saying, okay, we want you here. Right? That's the way to do it. So I believe this technology needs to be in every city or in every country on earth. And so it doesn't matter where I start, I'm going everywhere eventually, right? So I'm starting in the most strategic places where I'll be brought in with open arms and with the best deal, but of course without having to give up any of my equity or anything, so the mission is always preserved. Also, this guy with the truck here, I need you to move your pickup truck, and then I need somebody, the guy with the track hawk, to pull up right here. The guy with the purple Jeep track hawk back there. Next question.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Yeah,
right here.
What's up?
Hey, just want to say thank you for being here, man. I'm very, very proud of you. I'm a Generation Xer. I'm glad to see all these young people out here, that's, coming out here to see something positive. And I seen a collaboration that you did with, or it may just been a networking event with the Moses Foundation.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who's making the water out of thin air or whatever. And they have two machines in Jamaica up there, like you were talking about the islands.
Yeah.
And I really think that, have you thought about, like I know you've been saying about the islands, but have you been in contact with people there where you could set maybe a machine up that can just maybe take care of a village or just a small group of people? And is it the prices or what's holding you back right now?
So the very machine I have now is the perfect size for a small community. The machine I have now if it's operating without problems, which is never the case for me, but when it's professionally made, it don't have problems every day.
Right.
It can process 200 pounds a day of plastic. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm familiar with it because I shred plastic, but that's like, 200 pounds, that's more than this truck bed, that truck bed.
I'm 250.
Yes, 200 pounds of plastic is like it's probably like a very level of plastic on a monthly basis. So my goal is those machines, and they can just be many machines. I don't want to make a humongous singular machine because when you have a huge machine, you have bigger problems when something goes wrong, like bigger shutdown, longer shutdowns and stuff. In terms of what's holding me back, right now it's nothing really. I'm still doing a lot of research and getting the machine ready and polished to be ready for the implementation next year. I've already begun the journey of talking with different officials from these governments. I'm currently with a couple of ministers from Curaçao, Aruba, for example. And so, like I said, I'm really serious. We're going to start it next year. And that's what it is. Next question.
Yo, right here. Yo, hey fam, so what you think about like magnetic engines and shit like that? What you think about implicating that in the world?
Like magnetic generators, I think is what you're referring to. I actually did some research on those before when I was younger. I don't know exactly, like when it comes to those type of things, there's a lot of fake stuff out there that's not real, right? But there's also a lot of talk about the potential of those things being real. I think what we really should focus on, right, are things that kind of solve many problems at once. Because let's be real, if there was a magnetic generator that could generate electricity, then guess what? You're not going to be able to get it. It's going to be, shelved by probably the military, and you're not going to see it, right? Versus like if you have something like a plastic fuel reactor, like what Moses West is doing, the air to water generators, that's something that really can be directly in the hands of the people and really make a change in your life because they're not going to let you get a free energy generator if those things are real. Let's be real, they're not, right? Because that's good. That's the sole purpose of every system they set up in place. The energy is everything. Next question.
Yo, hey bro.
Raise your hand. What's up? Yo, we need to get the mic over on this side, so there's a lot of people
Got
over
you.
here.
I had to come find it. I got you, man.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. So I'm from Eatonville. My name Ladro Cartel. I'm an artist locally. I'm from Eatonville, the oldest black town in America. So we throw in the biggest music festival in the oldest black town in America with over 10K attendees, and we want to invite you out there, bro. All expense paid trip, pay for your stay, handle up everything, security, whatever. We got PD, we got the fire department, we got the whole Droville Music Festival behind you, bro, on a 100-acre field in the oldest black incorporated town in America. Ladro Cartel, I'm inviting y'all, bro. I got you. I'm gonna get your team information, and I brought this out here, bro, for everybody. I got free tickets for everybody that's out here, bro, so y'all can come see my boy out there, and that could be a spot we can link at. That's Eatonville, that's right around the corner next door to Winter Park, man. I want to say much respect, bro. Love the whole city behind you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, where'd the other G-Wagon go?
Run out of gas, man.
Oh, you were driving it to run out of gas. That thing was on half the tank. Well, I should have got it on. We need to do the same thing in Atlanta for the staff. We were driving around. Yeah, ATL, yeah. Hey, how many of you saw that? Scat Pack in Atlanta?
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was fun. Next question. I don't know where the mic is.
Hello, right here.
Raise your hand.
Right here.
Oh, yeah. Hey, whoever, we need to get the mic moved over to this side. There's a lot of people over here. So next, let's move it over on this side.
I got you.
Yeah.
The thing is, I begged him so I can talk to you.
Right here. Hey, I just want to let you know that what you're doing today is a very powerful thing. I really truly feel like you were saying here with the Most High, and we stand with you. We ain't gonna let you, nobody, the powers that be, none of them are gonna destroy your image like they did Malcolm, Rashad Jamal, MLK, none of them. We stand with you. What you're doing right now, there's hella people right here, every color. And we all stand united with you. We gonna be here for you. We gonna be with you. We gonna let you strive, man, because we not gonna let what they do to our leaders. We destroy everything, everybody. All right?
Respect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love how everybody's out here together. No matter what. That's how it is in every city I go to. It's love, bringing everybody together. All you guys are neighbors. Well, some of you from Jersey and Atlanta. But you guys are neighbors. You need to meet a new friend tonight. Because you know what? All you out here have something in common. You all, of course, watch my work. But then you all, of course, have an aspiration for a better future. Because you know what they say? In this day and age, most people don't have a hope for the future anymore. I understand why, because there's a lot of problems, and they're not talking about the solutions. But for everybody to be here, we're representing hope for the future. So for everybody to make a friend here tonight, somebody you didn't know, because everybody here, like I said, we all have something in common. And as a matter of fact, what I want to do before I forget, you guys want to say what's up to Instagram? Yo!
What up? Hey, what's up? One more down, let's go.
Let's go to the next question.
Wait, I got a question.
Right here. How you doing? My name is Gaddafi, brother. How you doing?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm doing good. We're gonna call a spade here, brother. I'm an activist myself. Been doing it since 2020. I've been watching you for a long time. And in this city, I've been keeping a very popular person. I've been putting your face out there as much as I can. I called off work to come see you for myself. Because, brother, I don't know if they know what they're looking at. I'm looking at a black God. I'm not stupid. I know what you are. I hope you know what you are. You have a target on your back, black brother. Yes, you do. They're trying to kill you, man. You know that, right? These people will kill you. How do you strive and continue knowing that there's powers that's trying to take you out of here?
Thanks for asking that.
Well, it's simple. I just say, come and get me.
That's real. I'll be in front of you.
We're going to protect you. We're going to protect you as much as we can. Because whether you are a leader, they're scared of people like you, dog. They're scared of you. Brother, we're going to do our best to protect you.
Yes, sir. Respect. You
I want to speak on that because you get asked that every show. People are like, are you afraid? Are you in fear? And I tell you guys, no. I'm not in fear of all anything. No matter what threat is around me, whether it's a black helicopter or whatever. The reason why is because I have completely committed myself to this. Right? Just like how a warrior completely commits themselves to defend their nation.
Yes, sir.
So I know if I'm going to do this and nothing's going to deter me or stop me from doing it, like, if I know that this is my path, then being in fear only makes me less efficient.
Word.
Right? So it makes no sense to operate in fear unless you're, on the fence or something. I'm not on the fence. I've been doing it 5 years. I started with the root and foundation of I want to bring hope into the world. I want to inspire people. I want to find a solution. I want to bring people together like we are here. So it really doesn't matter. Most threats are really more psychological to get you to shut down far before you're actually physically. Is that another G-Wagon? Another G-Wagon! But anyways, hopefully that's representative. But yeah, no, we don't operate in fear around here. Next question.
Hi, I don't have a question. I just want to.
Let's see.
I don't have a question. I just want to say no weapon formed against you shall prosper.
Yes,
So my question to you is, can you make anything more than 93 octane? Can we do 9700? And then do you have any investment opportunities?
So as it stands, as far as my knowledge for my octane reader, what I'm making is 110.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, what about investment opportunities?
No, as it stands, I don't have investment opportunities. Once again, kind of going back to what I was saying, we don't. I want to preserve the condition of overall, and as it stands right now, I need to make sure I'm holding this as close as I can, because if you can get investments in the wrong person, they kick you out your own company, and before you know it, the mission is lost. Even if the company's doing okay, because if I had to choose between a country that needs this technology versus a country that doesn't need it, I'm thinking the country that needs it, even if it's less profitable, right? But you can't make those decisions if you have investors that want to see the margins. So right now, I'm not saying never, but as it stands, right now I'm keeping this the way it's been. Great question. Next.
Hello. Hunter here. Question is, you're talking about EPA.
Speak up, Hunter.
Yeah, mic closer. Mic closer.
Expand upon the clean energy aspects of the plastoline and how it burns. In bringing this to multiple communities across the world, I'm just curious about how it's going to impact the carbon footprint.
Sure. So for the diesel, the plastic diesel, I did get it verified by a fuel lab in Washington, ASAP Labs. They verified the plastic diesel to burn cleaner than diesel from the car.
Yes,
so
sir.
That's great. Plastoline, I have not yet done that type of lab test to see if it burns cleaner. However, with us knowing it has a higher octane, that kind of by nature means it burns cleaner. The reason being is because a higher octane means that the engine can burn it more completely. The engine is burning the fuel more completely, there's less emissions coming out. And of course, CO2 is something that people bring up because any fuel you burn will make CO2, even if it's not making harmful emissions. And what I say about that is, well, for one, we need to plant more trees. Trees make CO2.
Yep.
And something people don't think about is that actually plastic left out in the environment breaks down by the sun under photo degradation, it ends up releasing ethylene and methane, which ethylene is 25 times worse than CO2 and methane is 40 times worse than CO2. So just from a carbon perspective, it actually is far more harmful to just leave plastic out in the environment while it's releasing those far worse greenhouse gases than to just turn it into fuel and make CO2, which can be captured by trees.
Yes, sir. That's right.
All right, so I got a science question for you over here. So I know that your reactor runs on microwave pyrolysis. Does that process exclusively work for plastic, or push you use it in making or processing biofuels?
So my process is not exclusive to plastic. I can put rubber in my machine, clothes, textiles, food, grass. I've done it. I have the videos on my YouTube channel. Anything organic you go in the machine and break down. Motor oil. You're talking about biofuels. I'm not quite sure the relevance of that, just because, I guess in a way, if you're making the fuel out of something like food, then it would be like a biofuel. However, as it stands, the technology works by breaking apart the chemical chains of what's put in there on a molecular level. So plastic is made of petroleum. And so we're breaking it down to return it into petroleum, right? And so the fuel that comes out of the machine is not considered a biofuel. This is just considered an alternative fuel, right? A renewable fuel. So hope that answers your question. Next.
The question is, when you first started this journey, did you expect it to turn out like this, to have such many people following you?
Yeah, I did. And I'm super humble and grateful, and I love all of you guys. But that was always the mission, to develop a platform. That's why I push so hard on social media. There's a lot of protection that comes with a lot of eyes on you, right? It's a strategy in a way. And so it had to be this way. And also on top of that, by our raise of hands, how many of you knew what pyrolysis was before me? Not many people in the crowd. Statistically, that is super low. Considering that pyrolysis is a basic form of chemistry that has literally existed since the beginning of Earth. That's how Earth makes crude oil, right? And so this is an education piece that it didn't exist. How many of you knew that plastic is made of petroleum before me? Okay, more people, that's good, but still, we should all know what or actually almost all the world is made up of now, because there's more plastic than lumber in this world. How many of you know what paper is made of? By raise of hands. You all must have raised your hand. We don't know. It's made of wood, right? So we all know what that's made of, but the education about what plastic is made of is not out there. So to me, even beyond all else, I wanted to just educate people in the hopes that maybe the right person can be inspired, and even if I don't do it, somebody else will. Next question.
Right over here. Right here to your left. Okay. Here. Yeah,
to your left. Behind you.
Sorry. My question is, have you been reached out to by any research or academic institutions to peer review your work or support you in any way? It doesn't have to be from the United States, it can be from Europe or Asian institutions.
Yeah, I've been reached out to, and I'm not opposed to it at all. It's just you got to be really, really careful with the academia field because if you do your research, you'll learn a lot. There have been a lot of things that were stolen by the academic world.
Yep.
They do that a lot because what they do. As a matter of fact, a few years ago, there was this university that was, and they were like, "Hey, we love what you do. Come join the student here. We're going to give back to our lab and all this stuff." It was great. And then I started the fine print. All of a sudden, you say in the fine print, "Oh yeah, we're gonna own the percentage of your patent just because you use your own lab." Yep, tell you that up front. You work with them all. So the issue with help, you could say, is that that type of help usually always has to have a strings attached. Everything is transactional. But it's like that's not what I'm interested in, right? I'm not interested in giving up half of the company or having anybody else be able to say what is done. So if I give up 50% of the company, it's not mine anymore. It's our company. Whoever else owns 50%. So and that's for anything. Because let's be real, right? I look at it like this. We have universities, we have companies that are out there, saying they're doing it, they want to find solutions or whatever, but all I see is the plastic, and I don't see the solutions. So to me, I'm like, if I don't see it from you on your own, really being that passionate to get it out there, and we're not on that same level, then I can't work with you. Because you might have a different motive. Your motive might be money. Right? My motive is impact.
Yes, sir.
So,
History.
next question.
Right here. Hey, my name's Dwayne. What's the biggest hurdle you think the people could help you with that you can predict?
I would say the biggest hurdle would probably be when it comes to implementing it into other countries. It could be problematic based on certain countries. Certain countries that may be a little bit more corrupt than others or more dangerous than others, right? Like for example, Mexico has a lot of things, or a lot of industries are very much run by cartels, right? But of course, there's plastic in Mexico. Mexico needs it, so it's like when it comes down to something like that, it's kind of only the people that can kind of help protect you in that way, because it has to be a thing where I go in there and I'm so needed and wanted there that even these forces know, okay, just accept this technology, this we all need, right? And so it's like it's only the collective power of everybody together saying, hey, we need this, we want this, we will have this, no matter what corrupt force or whatever is trying to control it. We need it. So I think that's the best way, just the people power. And that's why I love doing things like this. This is the best representation of people power right here. Right here, Orlando. We're here. Next question.
How you doing? My name is Mason. I'm here with Simply Auto Works. I'm a pilot. I was wondering, do you have any plans of adding the fuel to planes or anything like that?
I do. I'm already in talks with some people in aviation engines. And so next year, I intend to do the first plane in the Cessna, more than likely. A little propeller plane.
Yes, sir.
There.
Go up from there.
We'll do one more question.
Julián, bienvenidos a Orlando, amigos. That's right, man. Glad to meet you, man. You know what? The power of attraction. I've been watching you, and when you went to Kissimmee, that the activity was in Kissimmee, I was like, man, I'm gonna miss it. And guess what? I live only 3 weeks, blocks away from here. And you are here.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
The law of attraction is powerful and it works. My question is, what environment have you grown up in to lead you into this? And also, how the media is dealing with all this that you have done so far? Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, salud. Salud, amigo. Where you from? Venezuela. Hey! Yeah. So you guys may or may not know this, but he estado aprendiendo castellano con mi cuenta durante los 7 meses. I'm teaching myself Spanish.
Yes, sir.
But yes, to answer your question, huge shout out to my parents because my parents they contributed an absolute ton to where I am now, because when they saw things that I found interest in, they cultivated. So, like, for example, when I was really young, I loved Lego blocks, right? And so my parents did buy me Lego blocks, kind of keep it up, because that type of application kind of goes hand in hand. When you're welding, you're like, it's like adult Lego blocks, right? Like I said, they put me in karate, for example, so that contributed to discipline, perseverance, these type of skill sets and character traits you can't make that you need for a mission like this, right? The warrior mindset that I'm always talking about. But I would say, of course, like that's like, it's a blessing to have great parents, and not all of us do, right?
Yes, sir.
Not all of us have this important. So there's also from your own self, right? From your own choices, when you want to do something, right? Do you choose to grow and learn, or do you choose to be stagnant? Do you want to use the internet as a form of consumption, or do you want to be a producer? So when I go on the internet, I'm trying to learn something. What we all need to understand is this is even before AI, but especially now with AI, we literally have the tools given to us. We're all holding it in our hand right now, we're in our pockets, to literally do anything in the world. Literally.
Yes, sir.
Right? And the fact that, think about it like this, the powers that be are so confident that we are so docile that they would give us the most powerful technology, AI. They gave it to us. I'm self-taught, and like I said, I'm 22. I'm self-taught.
Yes,
All I
sir.
do is just research online.
Easy.
Right? And so it's your choice, though. That's kind of what I'm saying. When I drive, I'm like, I can't drive 10 hours to Miami and just entertain myself. Let me drive this 10 hours and learn Spanish while I'm driving, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's like a choice at some point where it's like, do you want to learn, do you want to expand and grow, or are you going to just be a consumer? Like what the box they want to put you in. So that was a great question. Thank you so much. Much love to my brother from Venezuela. Amigo.
Yeah!
And we're going to be getting this G-Wagon set up pretty soon. There is one last thing. Actually, I'll say that in a second. But before I say that, of course, thank you to all you out here that have made it out forever. However far you drove. Back there, we have the Jabberoma table where I have my natural deodorant. We also have posters and merch, shirts. I will be signing shirts and the posters as well. Of course, the deodorant, sunscreen is back there at that table. Also, for pictures. Those, I'm sure, are going to have a picture with me, and we'll have a time for that. All I ask of you is if you want a picture to make a contribution directly to the machines, you go back to the Jabberoma table, you choose how much, $5, $10, or $15 per group of people, and you get a little sticker that just show where you're kind of your receipt. And then after you go to the G-Wagon, you'll be able to take pictures in front of the G-Wagon. You have that little sticker. And so, last thing, before we kind of break out for a little bit of mission, I'm sure you guys want to know, like, how does the plastoline smell, right? Well, I have some here. Well, this is some plastoline here.
That's some hard work right there.
Somebody say that every show. It smells good to me. But hey, you can judge everybody has different perspectives. But so the plastoline we're going to be using in the G-Wagon today is a little bit different. You'll see one over there, but it's actually a little bit darker. Well, not a little bit. It's quite darker than this. And so I've experimented with these different fractions of plastoline. There's this type of plastoline called dark plastoline as well. And it's actually what I used to run the Harley in Dolphin Mall in Miami just a few days ago. The dark plastoline, because even though it's dark, it has no dirt in it. You run into a whole bunch of fine filters, and it just always comes out, but no dirt is left behind. So it's interesting, and I actually suspect the dark plastoline, I gotta get it tested to figure out. I think it has an even higher octane, because I burned them side by side. And the dark plastoline actually had a little bit of a slower burn than this the typical golden plastoline. And when you pour the dark plastoline, it has a nice golden kind of amber color to it. I'll be showing it in my video, so it's interesting.
what I'm saying? What's up with it? They don't want to do it on the other one?
Oh no, they're open to it. I'm sure. It's just that I don't know if it's the same situation. Yeah, where's it? Who owns this U-Wagon that's almost empty?